Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So let me ask you a question. Do you like tall tales? Well, what's a tall tale, you ask? Well, you know, stories that are greatly exaggerated and kind of difficult to believe. I don't know, remember as a kid hearing the classic tall tales about Paul Bunyan and Babe his Blue Ox, or John Henry, maybe Johnny Appleseed, and my favorite, Pecos Bill, you know, the one that lassoed a tornado. Well, today's video is about another tall tale, literally. But this one's not about a person, or a blue ox for that matter, but about a building to be constructed right here in my hometown, Oklahoma City. And like any tall tale, is there any truth to this one, or is it a little too far-fetched to be believed? Well, more on that in just a second. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself to the newcomers to the channel. My name is Lynn Taggart. I'm a realtor here in Central Oklahoma, and I make videos about Oklahoma City and Edmond to give people thinking about moving here a little insight into what this place is like. And I should know because I've lived here my entire life. My contact information is shown in the description box down below if you'd like to reach out and chat about a potential move here. Lots of folks are moving here these days, so you aren't alone if you're considering it. All right. So in today's video, we're going to talk about a controversial planned construction project in Oklahoma City that's been making the news nationally that's got people asking, is this for real? So what's all the fuss about? Well, if you've been living under a rock for the last few months, you may have missed the news, so let me bring you up to speed. Did you know that Oklahoma City's been selected to be the new home of the tallest skyscraper ever built in the United States, Legends Tower? That will be taller than the current reigning champ, One World Trade Center in New York City? Yeah, you heard me right. The tallest skyscraper in not just the U.S., but the entire Western Hemisphere is now being planned for little old Oklahoma City. Hey, I told you it was a literal tall tale, a really tall tale. And you know, I know what you're thinking because I thought the same thing when I first heard about it. Is this a joke? You know, some sort of publicity stunt? Or is there a legitimate chance this thing might actually get built? And why in the world did the developers pick Oklahoma City of all places? I mean, I love my hometown, but come on. Well, in this video, we'll dive into the topic and we'll discuss 5 things. 1, what the project is, where it's going to be built and what it's going to cost. And 2, the developer's rationale for why in the world did they pick Oklahoma City. 3, the hurdles that lie ahead, and hand in hand with that, 4, the timeline for construction. And lastly, 5, what the locals and others around the country are saying about it, and if built, what it might mean for Oklahoma City. And Oklahoma for that matter. You'll see in this video that as crazy as it sounds, this thing might just be legit and get built after all. Now comment down below, what do you think will happen with this project? Do you think it's legit? Curious your thoughts. Also do me a huge favor while you're at it, hit the like and subscribe buttons to let YouTube know that you're enjoying the content I'm putting out. I would really appreciate it. All right, first things first, what is it? Well, Legends Tower is a proposed super tall skyscraper to be built in downtown Oklahoma City in the Bricktown Entertainment District due east of the downtown core. Now speaking of downtown Oklahoma City, see this video here that I made that talks about the downtown area and specifically Bricktown. As it's currently planned, the 134-story building would stand 1,907 foot tall. Now, Oklahoma became a state in 1907, hence the unusual number. At that height, Legends Tower would become the 5th tallest building in the world and the tallest in the United States, surpassing the 1,776 foot tall One World Trade Center in New York City, making it more than double the height of Oklahoma's current tallest building, the 50-story, 844-foot tall Devon Energy Center. And by the way, in case you're wondering, the tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai, and that tower stands 2,716 feet tall. That's over half a mile in height. Wow. But as tall as it is, the Legends Tower does not stand alone in isolation, but rather is part of an overall complex of buildings called the Boardwalk at Bricktown. Now the complex will be a mixed-use facility with 3 other much smaller towers, and each of these towers is 345 foot tall. These towers are named Dream, Emerald, and Ruby, and they'll house hotel, residential, and retail functions, including a 350-key Hyatt hotel, 1,776 apartments, and at the street level, 110,000 square feet of retail stores and restaurants, in addition to a lagoon, which connects, by the way, to the nearby Oklahoma River, and a boardwalk with the entire area served by the new downtown mass transit rail system. The entire mixed-use footprint covers 3 acres and would account for roughly 5 million square foot, including parking of developed space. The Legends Tower itself, and this blows my mind, will be strictly for residential use with 126 levels above the base podium. Plans filed with the city show that the massive Legends structure would have, moving from the bottom up, 86 levels of luxury residences with an amenity level, topped by 12 levels of luxury penthouse space. Above that would be a 16-level Hyatt hotel, which is the second Hyatt hotel in the complex, by the way, along with 9 more levels of Hyatt residences. Then comes an indoor pool topped by 2 levels that would have an observation deck and a sky restaurant according to plans. All right, what's all this cost? Well, the developer, Madison Capital, said on March 11, 2024, that the Boardwalk at Bricktown project had fully secured, get a load of this, $1.5 billion in financing. Now that alone is not a small feat and pretty amazing in its own right. But why in the world did they pick Oklahoma City of all places? So rather than me trying to explain, I'm just going to let the developer tell you. And so here's what the developer, Madison Capital, said. Quote, Oklahoma City is well positioned to support large-scale projects like the one envisioned for Bricktown. We believe that this development will be an iconic destination for the city, further driving the expansion and diversification of the growing economy, drawing in investment, new businesses, and jobs. It's a dynamic environment, and we hope to see the Boardwalk at Bricktown stand as the pride of Oklahoma City. Well, that sounds good, and the dynamic environment reference is actually spot on. What a lot of folks around the country are unaware of is that Oklahoma City right now is in an unprecedented period of transformation and phenomenal growth with a host of new civic attractions either recently completed, for example, a new hotel and convention center downtown, new municipal mass transit system serving downtown, a fabulous new downtown city park called Scissortail Park, a remodeled and renovated airport facility, and on the drawing board, a recently announced new $900 million arena for the pride of Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City Thunder NBA franchise. The Boardwalk at Bricktown project, if it comes to fruition, would be just another example of the progress and rebirth that Oklahoma City is currently undergoing. So what hurdles are out there that could probably kill the project? Now, the biggest hurdle, obtaining financing, has already been cleared, and that in and of itself is a real, almost unbelievable accomplishment. The other thing the project has going for it is that the city of Oklahoma City appears to be really supportive of it. The Oklahoma City Council approved a record $200 million in tax increment financing to be paid after the first 2 towers are built. Earlier this year, the Oklahoma City Council approved the rezoning request for the project, and get a load of this, removed any height restriction on the Legends Tower. As one city councilwoman put it, quote, I mean, the sky is the limit, no pun intended, end quote. Approvals are still pending with the City Planning Commission, and not surprisingly, I suppose, given the height of the tower, the FAA. The City Council did push back and deny the request, though, that the tower feature 1,000-foot tall LED displays on 4 sides of the tower. Hey, we're not Times Square in New York City or we're the Strip in Vegas, so they killed it. Other than that, not much else stands in the way. And in case you're wondering, like I was, the lead architects have stated that the structural elements will undergo significant testing to make sure the structure stands up to the tornadoes and strong storms common to the region. Yeah, that one's pretty important. So comment down below, if you could afford it, would you live in one of those luxury apartments in the top of Legends Tower? Would you feel safe there? I'm not sure I would feel comfortable way up there. And I wonder if you could feel the building sway in the wind. All right, so when are things supposed to get started? Well, on the current schedule, and assuming that no major hiccups remain, fingers crossed, groundbreaking is set for the fall of 2024. The developer has stated that work would begin first on the 3 smaller towers, that makes sense, and that phase 2 would be the construction of the Legends Tower itself. Construction of the skyscraper has been estimated to take at least 3 years to complete, so all told, it could take 5 years from groundbreak for everything to be completed. So what's really interesting is what everyone's saying about this. Well, based on folks I talked to around here, most are very supportive of the idea, but many, myself included, are skeptical. Now, many feel that this is kind of a PR stunt, just to try to get the 3 smaller towers and ground floor complex of shops, restaurants, and offices built with no intention of ever building the Legends Tower. That could be, I guess, but time will tell. Now, negative comments have streamed in from all over. Locals have said it would be a big eyesore and totally out of place with the existing skyline here. There's some truth to that. The Devon Tower does kind of stick out like a sore thumb. So imagine what this new structure would look at more than twice the height of the Devon Tower. Now, many worry, how the tower would fare in a tornado, not to mention the occasional earthquake we have around here, as I mentioned above. That is definitely being taken into consideration in the structural design of the building. Skyscraper expert Jason Barr described the building as, quote, an unprecedented outlier. unquote, and went on to say that the building is, quote, way too tall given the city's population, end quote. One critic said, quote, no offense to Oklahoma City, but it doesn't exactly have the hyper-dense urban dynamic known for producing super tall skyscrapers, end quote, whatever that means. Sort of sounds like an insult to me. But the announcement is generating a lot of positive comments and optimism as well. One local resident noted that other large-scale projects in Oklahoma City have given a big boost to the city's downtown, and this would just be a continuation of that. They went on to say that, quote, if it gets people talking and bringing them to Oklahoma to go see this crazy skyscraper, then it could help the local economy. That sort of reminds me of a scene from a famous movie. Experts have said that for Oklahoma City, the construction of Legends Tower is expected to catalyze significant urban renewal and economic development. The project promises to create thousands of jobs from construction to the various services that will operate within the tower upon completion. Additionally, the presence of such a skyscraper is likely to enhance the city's real estate market, potentially increasing property values and attracting further business investments to the area. So when people say, why Oklahoma City? I guess I would counter that by saying, what the heck, why not? I'm sure when the Space Needle was being built in Seattle, people were critical of it. Or when plans were announced for the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, there was pushback. You want to build a huge stainless steel arch on the Mississippi River? What a crazy idea. Or, hey, what about a life-size replica of Noah's Ark in Kentucky? Does that qualify? No crazier than building the country's largest skyscraper in the middle of America, I suppose. So fast forward to today, and these landmarks are now iconic, and they draw visitors from all over the world. Why couldn't that happen here with our tower? So, will it get built? Don't know, but surprisingly, all systems are go as of right now. You know what? The odds of getting it built here might be better, since approvals for such an ambitious project are easier to obtain in a smaller city, where there are far fewer groups pushing back. Time will tell, I suppose. If it gets built and draws people here from all over, great. But the truth is, regardless of what happens, people are already flocking to Oklahoma from all over, not to visit, but to live here. Why? Primarily because of our low cost of living, affordable housing, and for an increasing number, because of our conservative traditional values. I talk about these things here and here. Now, if you're interested in potentially making a move here, give me a call or text me. My contact information is shown down below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons and the little notifications bell if you'd like to know when I post new content. Doing so keeps me motivated to keep making these little things, and it lets YouTube know that you like the content I'm putting out. So that's it for now, folks. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Adios, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.